Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Steins. We're on episode 10 right now. And it seems every episode there's a new person wanting to use the D-mail thing. And basically every time it happens, the worse things get. Like, shit is just changing, like, across the board now. Like things aren't where they normally are. Like we've got stores and things now that are just completely changed. Like they're not what they used to be. So shit is happening. Like that is just it's becoming ridiculous. And what I said in the last episode was, yeah, I think they're kind of a bit naive to it. They're not taking it seriously enough. Like this, it's only a matter of time before something fucking horrible goes wrong. Like really bad. So like, ugh. God, they're playing with fire. It's bad. Yeah, but in the last episode, Ferris wanted to use the D-mail. She didn't want to show what the text was. However, when she did use it for the D-mail, it turns out that, you know, she used to have a butler that was taking care of her, I guess. But now her dad's there, so there's definitely something we can take away from that, I guess, as to what her text message might have been. But we don't know the ins and outs of it. The one big thing that I really want to know how did they change? How did they manage to? I must have missed something, because I don't know how they managed to. How she managed to send a text away, like that far away from where the microwave was. I know Kirisu said that the microwave wasn't the lifter, so maybe that is what. Maybe they haven't like told us yet exactly how they're able to do it. So I don't know. I just find it weird that she was able to just send a text message from that far away. Does that mean every time every time the microwave is like used in that manner, anyone that's sending a text, the text goes back in time? If that's the case, then what's the radius of that thing? I just find it weird how Okabe was like, he sort of was like, yeah, let's just do it from here, because, you know, normally the thing with science is you have to test things out in order to, like, you know, see if it would even get a result, you know. And they haven't tested like sending a text message from like further away before, have they? So how would he think that would work? Surely you would have had to test it first. Otherwise there could have been some, like, I don't know. I don't know how they thought that she would be able to send a text message from there and it'll be alright. Because if that's the case, then basically anybody who sends a text message at that exact time, their text message would also get sent to the past. Strange. Anyway, yeah. So, without further ado, we're just going to jump into episode 10 and see what we get. So let's go.
All traces of Moe culture have vanished from the streets of Akihabara?
Please, Ocarine, wait for us!
What the hell, dude? I'm a hacker,
Why'd you
not
run
a hiker.
Where Toranoana and Animate go, huh? Where are Mandarake and Gamers?
No, you're just being silly. You know we don't have any of those around here.
You still work part-time at Queen Maze, don't you?
Huh? What's a Queen Maze?
Our favorite maid cafe!
Oh, God.
Impossible.
It's quite alright, actually. Moe culture thrives here mostly because of my
thanks to her.
influence, so it's a compliment.
Maid Queen's a type of potato, dude. Not feeling it as the name of a maid cafe.
Then how did we first meet Ferris?
Yeah.
You can mock my random bits of trivia all you want, but we wouldn't be friends with Ferris right now if it weren't for the Spuds.
Dare I even ask?
How'd you forget? I was gonna kick some ass in the Rhinet tourney in Ikebukuro, but some bad potato ramen was all, no, not yours, and I had to skip it.
Go on.
So you and Mayuri filled in for me against Ferris. Got both of your asses kicked in case you forgot that. But the girls have been friends ever since, so good times.
I wish I could wear that, but I'm so not curvy enough to pull it off well.
Don't you worry. Small boobies will have their day.
Make it a girls-only trip, then I'm totally down for some beachside fun in the sun.
Abandon the charade, Christina. This outing to the beach were really girls only. That would leave poor Rukako high and dry.
Huh?
Indeed.
How so?
As I pointed out to you
Nice,
the other day, Ruka is, shall we say, of the masculine persuasion.
Yeah, but it's changed, so she wasn't told. Or maybe she is a girl. This time round. Maybe. Is she?
Wait, why are you crying? Oh, honestly.
You troglodyte! Apologize to Ruka right now!
Why should I apologize for saying what is clearly the truth?
No, it's fine. I should go. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. It's gone on long enough. If Ruka's really the girl you say she is, then why does she have a...
Oh, God.
What the hell?
No, stop.
That's not good. That's not good. Oh, look at me. What are you doing?
You're a female?
That's what we've been saying this whole damn time!
I don't understand how she can be. How could she be a girl now?
This is absolutely
how could they be a
perfect
girl?
weather to go biking.
I suppose.
You feel like going for a ride?
I did assume that you had a second bike.
So, I didn't come to Tokyo to work in a TV shop. I'm looking for my dad.
Why is that? Did he run off or something?
It's been years. I don't even remember what he looks like. But I'm only gonna have one last chance to see him. Short version? I think my dad's gonna be somewhere tomorrow. But if I show up and he doesn't, that's it. I gotta move on either way.
You just made the serendipitous error of disclosing your tale of paternal woe to a mad scientist. Henceforth, you are lab member 008.
Another
Resign
lab
yourself to being our newest guinea
member.
pig.
What are you gonna do to me?
Alter your past, of course. It's all part of my master plan. Helping you is just a side effect.
Not sure if
You're
it's
a
that
nice guy,
easy.
You know that?
What?
Either way, I feel a little bit better about this than I did earlier.
Why doesn't he understand though? Even if he was to change the past, it wouldn't help her. It wouldn't help
All
that
right.
world line,
Now
Suzuha. It would
summarize
help
the basics of Operation Eldrimir in layman's terms.
even
What's
though
with the Norse mythology?
If Suzuha locates her father, we'll have a farewell banquet. We'll have dinner if she doesn't find her father as well, but we'll present it as a kind of consolation send-off. They tail the scrappy part-timer to see if her errant parent pops up.
Oh, come on. Don't go spying on their father-daughter bonding time.
Yeah, Ocarine, why don't you just come on our shopping trip with us?
Following Suzuha
It's
is
not
my...
gonna happen, so drop it.
Where does my assistant get off telling me what to do?
You remember earlier, right? How about 3 hours?
All right, shopping it is. So shall we be off?
wait, who's that from?
Is something the matter, Ocarine?
It's nothing.
Red Jello. What's red? Oh, red jelly, I guess. Why did I say Jello? I'm not American.
Been so quiet all night. I keep waiting for you to say something like, "Looks like the organization's been messing around with the price of local meat, launching Operation Half Off Sales event," or something like that. Look, first star of the night.
Oh, that's Venus, actually.
Hey, Ocarine.
What?
Remember back when we were little kids? And you had that really bad fever?
Yeah, right when everyone was losing their head over the whole Y2K thing.
Wait, are they the same age?
You look so sick and frail, I thought you were gonna just fade away. I didn't want you to die. So I looked up at the stars and said a prayer. And right then, One went shooting past right above me. So, as it went, I said, "Don't take my ocarine." I said it 3 times in a row. And the very next morning, your fever had broken and you said you were feeling better.
Sick in bed with that fever. I'd forgotten how that felt. It's the same way I feel when I shift world lines. I wonder, was that bout of illness the emergence of my reading Steiner ability?
This little kid is so cute. What do you keep in here?
I wouldn't go touching that,
How do
Ruka.
we get
It's
you
future
open?
gadget numero 4, Mode Snake.
Is that a claymore?
No,
That's
no,
what it
it's
looks
really a
like.
mock-up. In actuality, it's a humidifier.
Aha! Here we go.
No, don't pull that!
What? Jesus
Watch what you touch for now.
Christ.
Hey, this might help with the cleanup.
A vacuum? Yeah, good thinking.
This one got
Guess
explode as well.
again, it's future gadget number 3.
Hold on. You have to unplug everything else before
Oh.
you use it. Otherwise,
Uh-oh.
breaker will trip.
For Christ's sake.
Anybody know where the flashlight is?
It's just shenanigan after shenanigan, isn't it?
What's so funny?
Sorry, I thought of the lab I work at back in America. It's top notch, you know? We're talking wall to wall geniuses. But they're also cold. Scientifically, it blows this place out of the water, but I feel at home here.
I made this place because I couldn't invent friends.
It worked. I mean, I'm still here, aren't I? And you know, earlier, when you said you cherish our friendship, it made me happy.
What are the other? I'm wondering what the other people are doing. And yeah, what were the other guys doing? Like, what was Ruka and Mayuri doing and Daru?
Suzuha sure is late, huh?
They're just listening to
Hope
that whole
means she's
conversation.
Dad.
Made it very clear she was to report to the lab either way. But I guess my instructions were all for nothing. She isn't coming. Why, that little... Of course. I'll send a D-mail instructing myself to tail Suzaha this afternoon at all costs. Ignore assistant. Tail Suzaha.
What's up?
It's good to see you're so hard at work. Late night, huh?
No kidding. That party really took on a life of its own. I'm running on fumes today.
Fresh my memory as to how you ended up at the lab last night?
Huh? What were you drinking? Sounds like somebody needs to lay off the sauce.
Please, just indulge me for a moment.
Yeah, okay. I was just leaving the time travel forum meetup when you...
Time travel forum meetup? When you told me your father might show up somewhere, is that what you meant?
Yep. On the message boards he posts under the user ID Teeter.
Wait, John Teeter?
Nuh-uh, sorry. Beryl. It's Beryl Teeter. You recorded me saying it and everything. Of course, it would have been better without you-know-who. That pie of hers almost made it a farewell party for everyone. Seriously cool. You all get along and you're always having fun. First time in my whole life I felt like it really fit in.
Coming up whenever you feel like it. Surely I needn't remind you. You are a member of the lab now.
Yeah. Maybe I'll stick around. Look for dear old Dad a little bit more.
Okay, episode 10. Alright, due to what was said there, at the very end was pretty much, you know, very similar to what Kurisu said. About fitting in stuff. So is it just coincidence that clearly there's something between Suzuha and Kurisu? They both have sort of this dad issue problem going on, and they're both saying the same things. There's so much coincidence there. I think that obviously is referring to something. If they are possibly sisters. but I don't know. Oh god, this is so confusing, because I'm like, well, because we're shifting across world lines, right? It's very sort of it just fucks with me, because it just fucks with me. Because only fucking Kyoma remembers. So it becomes a fucking like a mental head fuck of trying to remember, like, okay, right, he's crossed world lines to change one particular thing. So if that didn't happen, what else didn't happen? And it becomes like a mindfuck of like, all right, well, what do the characters remember then? Like, what do the other characters that don't cross world lines, what have they been told? What do they know? What happened with them? And it's a total head fuck. I didn't see what the text read. Oh, sorry, I did see what the text read. I don't know who sent it. I don't know if it showed that. It did say I'm watching you though, and then there was a picture of red jelly. I don't know what significance that has. That's strange. Apparently Mayuri and Okabe are like the same age, or at least roughly. They don't give off that kind of air, but I guess it's because Okabe is a bit like, he sort of let the stubble grow in and whatnot, and he kind of just looks a bit older, I guess, than what Mayuri does. You know, Okabe seems so set on helping others with this D-mail kind of thing, and it's not helping them. Like, you know, because they, like, it's not like they transfer to a different world line. It's like what I was saying like a couple episodes ago with Ruka, and how he wanted to be a girl, right? With him sending a text back to like his mother's pager, you know what I mean, and hopefully that transcends into him becoming a girl somehow. Like, that would never help him. Like, it's not like he would change into a girl because of it. Like, that would happen in a different world line. You know what I mean? So through this D-mail thing, people can't be helped from it. So when Okabe is like, when he says to Suzuha, "I'll help you by using D-mail," oh, we'll send a message back to your dad, telling them not to leave his daughter and stuff like that. It's like, well, that Suzuha would never get that. Like, you know what I mean? That would never help her, because it's a different world line. The only one that could ever get, like, the only one who could ever feel any change happen because of D-mail is Okabe, because he's the only one that can transfer across world lines. So in reality, a lot of the sort of when he says that he's helping others or whatnot, like when it comes to when it was him and he was like, oh, like, I need to go find Suzuha or whatever, because she said she was like, she sent a message saying sorry, goodbye, right? And he was like, oh no, but I want to go help her with all of this. So he was like, oh, send a message back to myself, it's more selfish than actually helping, isn't it? Because he's doing it for himself at that point. Because he's the only one that can pass world lines. Nobody else can do it. So you can't help people with D-mail. You can help people like... You can help people who would have never... You can help people who would have never known any different. Like... Because they're in different world lines, they're not really, you know... The only thing they could do is take Okabe's word for it. If he was to say, oh yeah, by the way, Ruka, we sent this message back to your mother in the past on a pager for a change up a diet, which in turn changed you into a girl. And like, if somebody was to say that to you, and like, you know what I mean? If someone was to say it, like, if someone was to come up to me and say like, oh yeah, by the way, we sent a message back to your mother, she changed her diet plans, and for that you turned out to be a boy instead, and I'll be like, okay, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Ruka would care. Like, girl Ruka wouldn't care, right? Because she's never known anything different. She's lived her whole life as a girl, you know? It's just weird that way. Like... And it makes me wonder, like, Suzu has type of time travel is different. I'm sure, I mean, I've said before, I'm sure she's time traveling because of what she kind of says and knows. Her kind of time travel's different. It could work the same, except like she's putting herself through it, as opposed to like putting a text through it. So it could be like working the same way, except like obviously, yeah, she's throwing herself into it as opposed to the text. But you know, it's still different than the way that like Okabe is doing it. And it's just fucking with my head now, because if Suzuha if Suzuha before like the end of this episode, like when she said she was looking for her dad and whatnot, and then she said, oh sorry, goodbye, right, and then she was off, and that's it, she's gone. So in that world line, I guess like Okabe might never see Suzuha again, right? However, because he changed the world line, he is back with Suzuha again in a different world line. Now, if Suzuha was to... Oh, God, there's just no point, is there? There's no point because it's different type of time travel. Like, if Suzuha's doing her time travel the same way Okabe is using it to send text messages back, right? If Suzuha does it so she can send herself back, but it would be a different world. Does that mean she, as a physical thing, jump to a different world line, or would she jump back in time in the same world line? How would that work? Oh God, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. How would it work? How would it work? I just can't figure it out. I can't figure out how it would work. It's a text message that's going back. Technically, it's going back to a different... Is the text going back to the past, or is it being sent to a different Okabe? I guess it's the same thing, right? Because it just splits off and then... Yeah, so technically it is going back in time, but then as soon as it goes back in time, and as soon as the past Okabe picks up that text message, that's when it varies from future Okabe's or present Okabe's past. So it varies from him. So instead of him doing what he did before, he does something different, picks up this because he's got a message, and all of a sudden he reads the message and makes him do different things. Therefore, it a new path, a new world line is this thing because of it. Oh my god. This is so stupid. It's so ridiculous. I just had a thought, and here's the thing, right? Yeah, this is what right. It's it's not an excuse. Oh, it's kind of an excuse. All right. My sleeping pattern has been fucked. So last night I woke up at 1 a.m. All right. I've decided to just stay awake through the night. I'm gonna stay awake through the rest of this day. So I've already been awake for long enough to where like my brain is just like, ugh. I've been up for 12 and a half hours now. I'm thinking, alright? Could... Oh god, no, because then that would... No, it wouldn't work. He has me trying to come up with a scenario and it wouldn't work. I was going to think, what if he sent back a text message that sort of did nothing, like didn't sway Okabe to do anything different, you know what I mean? So Okabe would end up doing the same thing that he did with that current Okabe did. Would that mean that because Okabe seemingly transfers his mind into a different Okabe in a different world line, right? What if he sent back his memory back to a past Okabe? Then technically he would have just gone back in time as opposed to transferred to a different world line. But that wouldn't work because he would have already done something different than current Okabe by picking up his phone. He got a random text message, right? So that wouldn't work. I'm just trying to figure out like if there's a way that he could actually time travel and not like world line travel instead. Because time travel would, you know, I would say time travel is not the correct term to go along with this D-mail thing. Because time travel would mean that you're in the same world line and you're just going back to the past and forward. So it's more like John Titor stuff, or what I imagine Suzu has time travel is. I think hers is like same world line stuff. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah. Anyway. Let's get off that topic because my brain's already fucking melted. So I'm interested. If Ferris, right, was like... If Ferris, before she sent the text message in the last episode... If she was responsible for all the Moe culture and stuff like that, right? And she was, you know, one of those, well, she was in a maid cafe, right? And obviously she had her fans and whatnot, I guess. And Darrow being one of them. So if she changed that, or she changed the past, in which case all of this Moe culture didn't exist, right? She wasn't a part of that maid cafe, she didn't have her fans, right? Then why is it that Daru is still a fanboy of her then? You know what I mean? Because wasn't he in the last episode, like in episode 9, wasn't he still a fanboy of her? I don't know. Strange. I find it interesting that the name of the cafe was like, what, May Queen or something, or Queen May, one of the two. Now I don't know if this is real or whatnot, but Daru said that Queen May or May Queen is a brand of potato or whatnot, and it's funny because the name of the maid cafe that Ferris was involved in was named after a potato, but in this world line where that never occurred, they literally met Ferris because of food poisoning or something where it made Daru ill, and the thing that made Daru ill was a potato. You know what I mean? It's just a weird, like, coincidence thing. It's just strange. This is stupid. This is so stupid. This... I don't know if I ever want to do this again. Like, record a fucking Steins Gate episode nearly 13 hours into my day, essentially. Like, I am more confused. Well, I'm not even... yes, I probably am confused. There's no point trying to tell it somewhere. Anyway, yeah, so Ruka's a girl now? What? What determines a boy or a girl? Do we know that in, like, science? Like, in real life, do we know what dictates a fetus would be? A male or female? Do we know that? It doesn't change depending on which sperm, right? Is it the egg? Because I'm just thinking, like, it must be the egg. No. That can't be right. Because I'm thinking, right? The only way Ruka would be able to be a girl Oh my Christ, this is ridiculous. It's almost like I'm reading too much into it, because what's the point? What's the point me determining why Ruka, right, why could Ruka be a girl now? You know? Like, surely if she was a girl, right, her life would have been so much different. So how is it that they're still the same group of people? Considering how far they've changed stuff, like, you're talking, like, at least, like, almost, like, you know, you're on the latter part of going on 2 decades worth of stuff that you've changed because of, like, you're going pre-birth of Ruka. Now, I don't know how old was she? Or he? Was she 18? So you take it back to pre-birth or during birth. So yeah, you're going on nearly 2 decades worth of stuff. So in order for all of them, like, in order for the group to still be together, it's a wonder how they are together. Because so much stuff would have changed if she was a girl. Like, I just feel like she would go down a completely different path. You know what I mean? And also the fact that she's a girl, like, I don't understand how that works. Because the text was sent during our pregnancy, right? It wasn't before. The text to Ruka's mother was sent during our pregnancy. I'm sure it was. Because they specifically said, oh, change the diet. And apparently if you have this diet, it becomes a female. But that's like... that's not true scientific fact, is it? That makes no sense to me. I'm sure that if you... It doesn't matter at what point during the pregnancy... I'm pretty sure if the like the sperm and the egg have already, I don't even know what the term is. Sort of. as soon as the sperm and egg have like connected and they've done their thing, right? and then you've got pregnancy. I'm sure at any point during that, there is no way you can, if you were to run that, like time after time after time after time after time from that point, you would always get either a boy or a girl. You would never get, like, it would never be like 50-50 split. It could be a boy, could be a girl. You know what I mean? It would always just either be a boy, or it would either just always be a girl. Like, you would never be. What? I am so like, I don't know. Is there any point in even debating this? Is this even is there even a point? I don't, because you see, the problem is that I don't know what scientific research would dictate in real life, like what the scientific facts are. So like, if during a pregnancy, like, you know, during a pregnancy, a woman, we'll just say Mary, because that's, you know, the easiest one. Mary's pregnant, right? She's 2 months into her pregnancy, right? I don't know if, you know, you go through that pregnancy, she has a boy. But wait a minute, no. You rewind time, you take her back to that 2 month period again. It still will be a boy, right? Or the scientific fact, can that not be proven? I guess it can't, because there's no way you could possibly, I don't know. At what point in the pregnancy can you tell if it's going to be a boy or a girl? Oh my god, I'm done. I can't. I'm going fucking nuts. I'm going insane. I'm going crazy thinking about this. This is stupid. This is so stupid. That's it. I'm done. I've talked about everything that I need to talk about. That is all. That's all I can do, because I'm going fucking crazy here. Alright. Anyway. That is all for Steins Gate this week. We'll be coming back next week, Monday. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.